What is going on, everybody? This table ain't got enough room to do what I want to do. We're going to make a video, a beginner type video, that covers everything you need to know about bow fishing with these pistol crossbows. Good night. Can't look up into the sun without these glasses. So we're gonna go over everything from the bows that work to the bows that don't. We're gonna go over the reels that work a little better, what kind of line you need. We'll talk about the bolts and the arrows, just the whole thing, Now, this alligator type bow is my absolute favorite. I mean, you could just shoot any fish you want with this. It shoots hard, it works well. I mean, I've shot some big gar with it. It'll punch right through the skin. Y'all check this out real quick. I got him, Cap. I got it. Man, I got this one right in the nose, and that is a big one. Good grief! Good grief. Get the net. Hand me the net.
Here. Get him! Get him!
He's too big for the net. Oh my goodness!
That thing's fat. It's the biggest one.
Look at the size of that gar, bro.
We have shot the biggest scar, guys.
Now let's talk about the bows real quick. The bows that work versus the bows that don't. There's one thing that really makes a difference, and that is the type of trigger mechanism that the bow has. Now, this trigger mechanism right here on this alligator type bow, it just has a slot that the string drops down into. Watch. Like so. This is the trigger mechanism you want. Inside this trigger mechanism, the trigger sets underneath it, just pushes the string up and out of that slot. And this is what you want, and let me show you why. I'll show you what you don't want here in just a second. Now when you set your fishing bolt on here, whatever fishing bolt you decide to use, it'll slide all the way to the back. Right on the rail, everything's flat, everything's ready to go. You are in business. Now, the trigger mechanism you don't want is this one right here. It's got a little catch that the string goes behind. And the reason you don't want this one, and I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, I'm gonna try real hard to make it where you can, is because the rail has to widen at the back to accommodate the trigger assembly in the rail. And since the rail is wider at the back, y'all watch this. Get up here close. That arrow is gonna fall down into that slot. It's not gonna line up with the string. It just doesn't work well. Now, I have actually bow fished with this bow before with arrows that I've made myself, and it works fine. But I like this bolt right here. It works the best out of all of them. We'll talk about bolts here in just a second. So, as far as trigger assemblies go, I would find a bow that had that slot. Now, you also want to look for a bow that has a Picatinny rail of some sort on the bottom. And when I first started bow fishing with these bows, I was just zip tying a rod handle onto the bottom of the bow, and that worked okay. But I really found that using a scope ring to attach the bow fishing assembly to a Picatinny rail, it's a lot smoother. It works a lot better. It's easy to get on and off. It all around works better. And these little bow fishing reel attachments are only about $8 a piece, $10 on Amazon. They're not very expensive. So. And then I got the ring at Walmart for like another $8. So it's really just easier all around for me to do it this way. Where are we at now? As far as the bows go, 10 out of 10 times I will take a bow with fiberglass limbs over the metal limbs. The metal limbs just don't have as much oomph. Fiberglass limbs shoot just a little bit harder. They're a little bit more powerful. And I just all around like the fiberglass limbs better. Now, where are we at? Well, let's talk about this assembly again. So, all this stuff sells separately for the most part. Like the guide arm that you put your line through, you get that off Amazon for about $8. It sells separately. The reels, you can get a reel with the reel attachment off Amazon in a kit for like $35, but I would just get the reel attachment and pick your own reel out, because those reels they sell in the kit are not the best ones. They work all right, but they're not the best. And you probably just do better putting your own reel on there. Now, I do have a bow fishing rig, a muzzy bow fishing rig that I use for full-size crossbows and the striker bows. This one does not work as well. This one does not work as well on these small 80-pound bows because of that 150-pound line. That 150-pound line creates so much drag that it slows the arrow down and you don't get good penetration, and it just doesn't work real well. What I found, this reel right here came with one of those slingshot rigs, and it's got about 40-50 pound line on it. It came pre-spooled, and it's light enough that this thing right here will really shoot. I mean, y'all check this out. This is a little 40-pound line. It don't slow this bolt down at all. Y'all watch this. It shot all the reel off that line. Did you hear me say all the reel off the line? All the line off the reel. Now I'm gonna have to be reeling for 6 years to get it all back on. There. Good grief. Anyways, the point being, you're gonna want a lighter line. 40, 50-pound line. This 150, 200-pound braid bow fishing line is too heavy for these bows. You try it, it's not gonna work. I'm telling you, it'll slow your arrows down too much. Now, let's talk real quick about the bolts we use. You can buy these little metal fishing bolts for cheap. They're like $1.50, $2 a piece, and they are by far my favorite fishing bolt for all these little crossbows. Now, you're gonna have to have the right trigger assembly to use it, which we've already talked about, but this is my go-to. Now, they sell these little plastic fishing bolts. I hate these things. I have never successfully pulled in a fish with them. I could just halfway get them to shoot right, and the 2 times that I did hit a fish, they were both 5-6 pounds a piece, and the stinking plastic dart broke while I was fighting the fish in. So these things, in my opinion, are trash. I've never successfully pulled a fish in with them. Now, I've also made my own bolt, which works really good. All I did was take a carbon arrow and put a insert on both sides, and then, you know, got our little conversion kits for bow fishing. We sell those on the website. And then I drilled a hole in the back through that insert to attach the line. These work pretty darn good. But if you don't want to make your own stuff, the bolts that I prefer and that I would recommend are these little metal bolts. Now, if you hit a rock, it's gonna bend them. If the bolt's bent, when it hits the water, it's gonna curve. It's not gonna shoot right. If your bow needs tuned, like say your limbs are too far to one side or the other, they're not pulling evenly, then it's gonna hit the water all womper-jawed. If your arrow is hitting the water and turning one way or the other, you might try tuning the bow. You might make sure, double sure, that your limbs are centered in that bow so they pull evenly. Make sure that they're not split. That's going to be your problem. If you're having trouble with your arrow going into the water straight, it's one of 2 things. Either your arrow's bent or your bow's not tuned. Can't be nothing else, or nothing else that I've found. So, we've talked about bows, we've talked about reels, we've talked about the line, we've talked about bolts. I think that pretty well goes over everything. Like, this is the most requested video I get. What is everything you use? What can I use to get started? All those questions like that. So here you go. I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all sticking with me all the time. If y'all have any questions, anything that I left out, y'all ask them in the comments and I'll do my very best to answer them. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all watching. We will catch you next time.